Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching the N-Word for Nerd podcast. Remember to like, share, subscribe to Headcanon Circus everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Again, Headcanon Circus everywhere. And if you're doing it on YouTube, please remember to hit the bell so you can be notified when we post. So we're going to jump into our second review of the day. We are going to talk about Night Teeth. This is another movie that is on Netflix. Netflix is going to have to cut us a check eventually, but we'll get there one day. All right, Night Teeth. Let's go ahead and start off with you, Josh. What did you think of Night Teeth?
I thought I was going to hate it because it was very like everyone's talking like they're so cool and trying to make everything seem so cool, and it seemed like kind of like a little bit contrived, but it ended up kind of sucking me in, and I thought it was entertaining. I didn't even mean to do that. But it was entertaining. Nothing amazing, but decently acted, decent script. I can't say anything too glowing about it, but I can't hate on it too much either. I read some reviews and before I saw it, and there people are really hating it, but it's not that bad.
Oh wow! All right,
yeah,
before we jump
middle
into
of the road for me.
Before we jump into you, Jason, I've got to give the synopsis. A college student moonlighting as a chauffeur picks up two mysterious women for a night of party hopping across LA. However, when he uncovers the bloodthirsty intentions in their dangerous, shadowy underworld, he must fight to stay alive. Which I feel like the movie is not quite what that said. No. But okay. Jason, go ahead. Duke of all nerds, what is your thoughts on Night Teeth?
I kind of agree with Josh. Is like it ended up. I didn't think I was going to like it when I started watching it, but I ended up like just having fun with it. The plot itself really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Basically, in LA, the vampires has divided the city up into different, I guess, neighborhoods they control, but except for one, which is I can't remember the name of the neighborhood, but the one that's exclusively human, and somehow like they're just like, yeah, no, fuck this, and they're gonna take over all of them, even though they're like they don't have any special powers to defeat all the other vampires. They just do it. These two girls and Theon Greyjoy just like, yeah, and it just makes it like, if you guys are that powerful, why you weren't the boss to begin with? Like, why were you not like in charge if you can just walk into King Vampire's house full of 50 people, 50 other vampires, and kill them all and just walk right out like it was no big deal? Like doesn't make any sense. The whole I've been a big fan of Debbie Ryan since Sweet Life on Deck.
Who's that? Which character is that?
That is Jessie, the vampire that he ended up falling in love with.
Oh, okay.
That's not really a spoiler because it's if you even watch 5 minutes,
you can tell that's gonna happen. Yeah,
because she's the most famous person in the movie, so she's always gonna have some sort of redemption arc, even though she doesn't. Like the guy like meets her when she's murdering a dude and like, oh, you're not a bad vampire. Like, no, she killed a whole bunch of people this night. So I don't understand like how you're like just cozying up to her. Like her whole entire plan was to kill you too. But other than that, like I kind of like the lore of it, even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I like the fact that even though they throw a lot at the screen at you, and not a lot of it sticks, but like at least they're trying, and I respect that they're trying to do something. But yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, this is the theme of the fucking week is like it's there. It is a movie.
Absolutely. Now, let's do this Night Teeth review. All right. This is the Night Teeth time. I got to watch a brother simp over some white chick that he just met. Look, I'm tired of this shit, man. I am tired of it. Like, one, it was no reason for her to like him to begin with. It was just like, and they gave you that line like, oh, she likes everybody. Hold on. So you're telling me this chick that you met in the 70s that you've been running town with, she just like everybody y'all fuck around with? And you ain't found nobody. And this is the guy she traded it all for? What are we talking about? Like, why? But okay, if you're gonna let me go with that, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna roll. The problem is, like you guys just said, it's like they took two movies that would have been really good movies and they put them together and was like, yeah, this would be an even awesomer movie. Like, either give me the movie about the lore and just do the full lore on, and I'm here for it with the brother, or give me a movie that's pretty much a bottle episode, which we'll talk about that in the next review, where you just have him being the driver with these chicks, going to these locations and having no inference on the lore and let it live that way. Yeah, just one or the other, it would have worked. But the fact that you gave me both of these, it didn't work because I just only cared about them traveling. That's the only thing I cared about. I thought the most menacing parts were stuff like when they were in the gas station store, where chick like was like, you know, who would you contact? Like, that stuff was cool to me because it's like, yeah, like this dude, like he doesn't know how to, he can't control these chicks, but also he has a responsibility because he kind of has to control these chicks. And it just, I get frustrated with movies like this because I know that a premise in here was really good. And I know that somebody wrote this script and they had a very direct idea. And it felt like somebody came in and was like, well, no one's going to understand that if that's in this movie. Or no one's going to get why this is going on. So you need these scenes. But let's talk about some good stuff in this movie because the good stuff in this movie is very short-lived, just like Megan Fox's cameo. The good stuff in this movie, like the whole parts in there with the violence
and everything, is her being
right. The violence being in the background, offset in a lot of scenes, I thought was just masterful. Like that is such a great use of making an action scene without having to, because you probably have lower budget, do a full-on action scene, so you don't got to do this full-on choreography and all that. So you place it in the back offset where you can kind of make it out, but it isn't clear enough where you need to have like someone training for 3 weeks to get these things down. I thought that was a really good look for it. I thought the look of the movie looked good. Like LA is going to be glitzy and glamoury, and in the parts that were kind of run down, they had that feel to it, but it still was glossy like LA. So for people who haven't been to LA or picture LA, this movie shows what LA you probably picture in your mind if you think about LA with a nightlife with vampires and etc. So it was a lot, like I said, that's why it hurts so bad in this movie, is because it's so much good stuff in this movie that it's just wasted on like going off side missions that we don't care about, or like manufacturing romances. You didn't have to manufacture a romance in this. You could have just made them good friends and made this work perfectly, that he was just genuine and was saving their life. So like they're like, nah, we owe you because you had our back. You didn't need none of the other romantic spotlight. It didn't matter. It did not matter. All it did is just make this dude more of a simp, because this dude was like, hey, I know you guys are bad people because I just saw you literally blood drain other people that you, and I'm going to be cool with it because you know what? I didn't get thrown in the trunk by a cop, I guess. Like, that's one thing I think of why he was cool with it. And even then, after that, he still wasn't cool with it. I don't know. At one point, he just changed his mind. It was like, I guess I'm here for the night. I guess I might as well ride with him. Like, I don't know. I do not know.
Like,
I do not understand
a point where there's like legitimate like vampire hunters, and these people are like, we're trying to kill you because these people are bad people. He's like, nah, I'm gonna fuck with them. It's Debbie Ryan from Sweet Lion Jackson. Cody, she's kind of cute. Jesse, you need to hear Disney. I gotta hang out with her. She's way better than you, random black guy, and your vampire hunters who seem to be bad at your job. Like,
right. I will say this about the movie though, and as in the contrast to the last one we just reviewed, the chemistry between especially the three in the car is really good. Not the romantic chemistry, but just the chemistry of them playing their roles and tropes and how they play off each other in that dynamic. I thought that was excellent. Like Zoe's character being kind of shot out and him being always worried about like, what is she going to do? Like where does he stand with her? He never feels like he's in good standing with her. So I thought all the dynamics between them three works. I think that's why part of me was like, they should just kept the movie them three and did all this, because I felt like it worked cleaner that way. And I felt like all of their energy worked very well together. So for what it's worth, Jason said, I guess this is that show for just being like, do we have any spoilers we really want to go into? Because I feel like we spoiled a little bit here and there. It's nothing really major, though. No. All right.
Well, there's not anything to spoil here. I kind of think it's cool that, the only place that was free of vampire influence was the ones that were run by the Hispanic dudes. But even then, they were all killed very easily. It's like, how do you get to that point where you're like, oh, yeah, this area is off limits to y'all vampires because we're so powerful. And then, like, Theon Greyjoy from fucking Game of Thrones comes and kills all your dudes by himself. Like,
Also, sidebar. Go ahead, Josh.
No, you both made like the best points for me. Is like, one, how are these two girls the all powerful, like beating up with their bare hands all the other vampires? Like, what makes them so special? Like when they went to that surfer vampire guy's like house,
which is a great scene in my opinion.
It's not a bad scene, but then like everyone busts in and then they just whoop everyone's ass. It's like,
yeah, they handle them easily.
Why? Yeah, how? They're vampires too. And then your point about the love, like that was, you couldn't believe that like this chemistry came out of nowhere. Like they didn't build up to it or anything. And this is a cold-blooded vampire. Like, why does she like this, this, like you said, simp virgin dude who doesn't have a lot of confidence? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no game at all.
And he's gonna still go to college after. Here's a spoiler: he's still gonna go to college after becoming a vampire. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you don't need college anymore, my friend.
Night school it is, I guess. I guess he wanted night school badly. All right, Jason, what do you give this? What do you rate this movie?
2.5. It's better than, it was more entertaining than Red Notice, but just barely.
All right, Josh, what do you give the rating on this movie?
I was about to say 2.5 too. Yeah, definitely better than Red Notice. For me, way more entertaining than Red Notice, but not a good movie.
All right. I'm right lockstep with you guys. 2.5 is what I hit on there. All right, let's do some quick questions. Yeah, I know, right? First and foremost, we want to thank Josh for coming through and blessing us and doing the show with us. Again, guys, everybody remember to share, like, and follow us on all of our places on Headcanon Circus, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And like we said, we put up clips of the show. So if you want to listen to just one of our reviews, we'll have clips for that. So guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed what we brought to you all. If you did not enjoy what we brought to you all, you can always comment and tell us how terrible we are. And we'll read your comments on there. And we will still clap back, but we'll still read it. We'll still give you the pleasure of reading it. And Jason, Duke of All Nerds, any closing words?
Be kind, be considerate, and always tip your servers and bartenders 20%.